one of my viewers, and I would say bookish friends, was very kind to send me a box of books. And this was sent a month ago, and I said I would save it for a video because each book is individually wrapped. They snagged it at, I think, local book sales, because book libraries will do these events or whatever where you can go and get books for like $1 or whatever. And so very kind to send this massive amount of books to me based on my reading taste from, what they've seen. So I am going to go through this. I've only opened one. I'm not going to go over them. I'm just going to show the titles because I don't know what's in here, but we'll see. Actually, there are notes that are attached to some of these packages. So let's dive right in. I'm excited to see what's in here. I've been eager to open this box. This is the first one that I opened. And because there was a tag that said open me first. To make myself more monetization friendly, you can read the title. I think I'll keep this on my nightstand. This will take 2 seconds. This will take 2 seconds to read. May I always detect the BS in my life. Hear, hear. All right. Harry G. Frankfurt was this is by a John Hopkins PhD professor at Princeton and Yale. So that'll be fun. All right, let's dive into this because I have a lot to go through. There's some stuff in here that's not books. All right, open this one. This one has a Virginia Woolf quote attached to it. It's like Christmas, I'm one of those people that I never get tired of Christmas. Never. It's just, I'm like a big kid. I don't need stuff anymore. Like, it's not even about the presents anymore. I have enough. I have plenty. Oh, snap. Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. I have yet to read a Cormac McCarthy novel. He has been on my TBR. I just haven't. I'm excited about that. Cool. Yes. There's a note in each one of these books as well. I will read those at my leisure one day. This is so kind. I'm getting like grandfather vibes. I love it. Another Cormac McCarthy. The Road. Hype. I'm excited about that. Cormac McCarthy has been on my list. Oh, this is 2 books in one. Oh, I've never heard of this. Waiting for the Barbarians. Anybody heard of this? I kind of like that cover. I'm going to have to go through these in more detail. Octavia Butler, Kindred. I don't know why this made me rethink of another book I have on my shelf. Have not read this. I've heard of it, though. I have heard of this book. I thought I heard my work phone vibrate. Not today. Saturday. Okay. Some mass paperbacks. I'm loving the chicken paper, by the way. With the different breeds of chickens. I'm digging it. Fahrenheit 451. I have read Fahrenheit 451. It is one of my favorite classics. I like this cover. This cover is pretty legit. I have read it. I do own it. Fahrenheit 451 is right up here on this top shelf. And yes, Fahrenheit 451 is one of the books that I feel everybody should read. So I do have that one. I also have The Picture of Dorian Gray. I've read it twice. I adore The Picture of Dorian Gray. It is wild. It is wild. Fahrenheit 451 and The Picture of Dorian Gray, since I've read them, I do own them. I think that I will pass those on to somebody I think will enjoy them. The Phantom of the Opera. Have not read, but I have been curious about this because this is a classic. This is a true classic. All right. I don't know. People are really kind. Sometimes, I don't know, people do stuff like this and I don't know. I don't think I deserve it, but I appreciate it. Middlesex. I have heard of this one. I'm a big fan of familial drama. I'm getting a message. I'm a big fan of familial drama. So all This is what I'm going to say. If it's not a book that I've already read, I'm keeping it on my shelf. I'm going to keep it on my shelf because you never know what you might like. You never knows. You know what I'm saying? The Bluest Eye, Toni Morrison. I have actually not read any Toni Morrison, so thank you. I can venture into my first Toni Morrison. I have heard excellent things about The Bluest Eye. I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I know people really love Beloved, but I've heard that The Bluest Eye is the creme de la creme of, I've heard some people say that is the creme de la creme of Toni Morrison. Things Fall Apart. I have to admit, this book, I just felt a little triggered. I had to read this in college. I had not college. I had to read this in high school. And I did struggle with this one. I struggled with this one. I did. Maybe it's because school ruins a lot of books. It does. Because you're forced to read it maybe when you maybe would have not naturally picked it up. But I'm going to let that marinate. You never know. One day I might want to pick it back up again. Shut up. I'm going to get to that in a second. There's chocolate in here. Oh, this isn't a book. Whatever it is, it's old. Oh, that is so sweet. Sorry, I got choked up a little bit. The past 5 weeks have been, I had some stress. When people do stuff like this, it's like, it happens when it needs to happen. So again, I keep saying thank you, but I can't thank you enough. All right, more books. Oh, another Cormac McCarthy, All the Pretty Horses. Okay, I'm a horse fan. I love horses. I think they're stunning animals. And when I was a kid, one summer, I've been asking to take horseback riding lessons for a while. And so one summer, my dad let me take horseback riding lessons. And so I would one day, I don't think this is going to happen. Horses are so expensive. And I don't want to care for one. You know what I mean? Like, they're expensive. The maintenance. You can actually get a horse, especially a retired thoroughbred or a retired racehorse for, you can get one for not a lot of money when you look at, maybe the outright purchase of even a purebred dog, but it's the maintenance of an animal that large. And then you have to have the space and blah, blah, blah. And in my city, you can't have horses. Like, no, you got to go to the next city over to stable your horses. So, The Haunting of Hill House. All right, disclaimer. I don't know if I can read this. I don't know if I can read this. Is this creepy? First published in 1959. The greatest haunted house story ever written. I don't know. I struggle with paranormal and creepy stories. I can't do it. I don't know if I can read this one. I think it'll give me nightmares. I might have to pass this one on to a person who can mentally handle it. That is one. I will read almost anything, but I can't read paranormal or watch paranormal stuff. I can't do it. Trauma. I can't do it. The Nickel Boys. I had, Colston Whitehead, the Underground Railroad, and the Nickel Boys. I had the Nickel Boys on my shelf, and recently I looked at it and I was like, I have a friend I think would really love this. And so I gave it to her because it just seemed like right up her alley. So now it's back in my collection. Maybe it's a sign I need to read that. Memoirs of a Geisha. I'm actually going to now get this one off my shelf and keep the paperback because I can't stand hardbacks. I have small hands. So there you go. We're going to get rid of the hardback. Memoirs of a Geisha is actually another one of those books, along with The Kite Runner, that I read in my late teens that kind of marked a transition of me shifting from more a young adult fiction to more mature fiction. I have not read Memoirs of a Geisha in years, and it is a book I want to reread. So now I'm glad I have a paperback. Stop. Wait. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Cool. Okay, so if you didn't know, I do knit. My knitting has slowed down a lot. So there are 2 knitting narratives in here. This is look at this old proof. That is so cool. And the reason why I looked, this one's called Knit One, Purl One. I'm all over the place. Let me slow down. Is because years ago, a good friend of mine sent me a book called Knitting Yarns. It's all the way over there, kind of right here. And it's a collection of short stories written by knitters about like knitting in their life, and it's in why they knit and what it means when somebody gives you a handmade garment and stuff like that. So that is really cool. Yo. You know I like my Ghirardelli chocolate squares, all flavors. This is white chocolate and caramel. You're an OG for this. You always got to have a little chocolate in the house, all right? Oh, are these old pens? Shut up. These are old fountain pens. So if you don't know, I have a small fountain pen collection. I love it. These are so cool. I wouldn't write with these. This is super cool. I'm gonna have to go back through and read the notes in a lot of this stuff. It's like getting gifts from your father. There's a third one in here. Look at this old fountain pen. This is so cool. Paul Milton Van Ornum. This is so cool. I think I'll actually probably put these on display. These would look really cool on one of my tables that I have in my living room. This would also look really cool. There's a note in this too. Wow. This actually would go perfectly on my one of my tables. All right, more books, and then I can wrap this up. I opened up to a chapter called 2 Bottles of Champagne. Here. A novel. You know I'm a sucker for a World War II narrative. Look at this old volume. The Caine Mutiny. I did heavily study World War II as part of my history degree, so I know quite a bit about World War II, and so it is one of my guilty pleasures, a World War II narrative. So I'm just stacking them up here for now. That will stay. In the Heart of the Sea. I've never heard of this title, but it has won an award. Again, all of these have notes. One day I'm going to have to go back. Oh, is this fiction? Sorry, is this nonfiction? Is this fiction or nonfiction? This is fiction. Inspired by Moby Dick, which I need to read. I hope to read Moby Dick maybe next year. It's been sitting on my shelf for ages. Again, another piece of glassware. This will sit. Again, I have a table that would be perfect for that. This is really exciting. This kind of made me feel better about life. Thank you. I keep saying thank you, but I have this book. That's too funny. I know somebody who may like this. I have a friend who's a knitter. I have several friends who are knitters. I do have this book, so I'm going to pass this on because this is a keeper. That is too funny. All right, these are the last 3. 2. Ooh, what is 2? Little 3. I was right. Little Women. I have not read Little Women. I know some people who love this book, and I know people who don't like it. So, you know I love a good Penguin Clothbound classic. So, now that it has been gifted to me, I think I have to read it. It's also like an American classic, so perhaps I should read it for that. The Glass Castle. I really like this simple cover. A memoir. I also like a good memoir. See, one thing that I want to start doing is reading more memoirs. And so I have a whole little section where I've started my memoirs. We're not started memoirs, but memoirs that I've either already read or want to read. So I do memoir. If I'm going to read nonfiction, I'm going to gravitate towards a memoir. And last, but certainly not least, I have read this one, Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Stellar piece of fiction. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So because I have it already, it's here and I've enjoyed it, I'm going to pass this on to somebody I think will also enjoy it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. thank you so much for my friend for sending this to me. It was a treat, and you were so kind, so kind. Yeah, I really appreciate that. So before I get emotional, I'm going to wrap this up here. Please feel free to let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these titles and if you have any favorites in here. And also, please feel free to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, where I get up to more bookish shenanigans. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.